into a suitable, into a proper form and function. So defining the product's purpose is descriptive and quantified. Okay, so this will establish, all these description will establish medium for the product vision to make it to the real world. So how we are going to convert the product along with the goals achieved to the into the real world. Okay, so effective conceptualization actually it combines understanding the product function, what sort of use it's going to make, what is the environmental use of the product, and what is the person's skill that is going to be enhanced by this particular product. So all these are made up of in this product conceptualization. So actually this will see the future product in the final phase. So final phase, what is the end product, that will be conceptualized in this technique. So how the product will be used, how the product will be produced, how it is made up, all these ingredients put together in the first phase, that is your product conceptualization phase. So a team of experts, both like in engineering experts, manufacturing experts, experts in regulatory issues, those who look after the regulatory issues, all these they will capture the essence of the customer's vision. What is the requirement of the customers? What the customer is expecting from the product? So all these will be made up in this first step, that is product conceptualization. So the team actually, this whole team, it draws on years of experience to ask the right questions to the customer and get the right feedback from the customer. They have to develop a complete picture of what the customer wants, what the customer, how the customer envisions the product to be, from what is the function of the product to what is the requirement, what performance they require till the packaging of the particular product. So this is the first initial step, that is product conceptualization. Now we will see about design. So what is industrial design and why it is required in product development process? Okay, so this IDSA, that is Industrial Designers Society of America, defines industrial design as it is shortly we can abbreviate it as ID, capital ID. So this ID is a professional service of creating and developing concepts and specifications that optimize the function, value, and appearance of products and systems for the mutual benefit of both user and the manufacturer. So an industrial designer or AID, he is dedicated to the cause of improving the quality of human environment. He has to improve the quality of the product both in practical means and in aesthetic means. Aesthetic means something related to the outlook, how your product looks like. So he's actually a systems thinker who will find innovative solutions. He has to correlate the technical and both ergonomic aspects with human needs. So when we say ergonomic aspects, it is related to human comfort and what are the aesthetic needs of the customers along with the technological and economical aspects. So the industrial design is actually a process of design applied to products that are to be manufactured through techniques of mass production. That is how we are going to supply, what is the end, how your end product going to look like. That is based upon the design process. So the key characteristics of a design is it's actually that design is separated from manufacture. So it is a creative act of determining and defining a product's form and features. So all these takes place in the making the product, which consists of purely repeated and automated replication. So this will distinguish the industrial design from normal craft-based design. So where here the form of the product is actually determined by the product's creator. He has to determine what is the final form of the product developed. So all the manufactured products, if you see, it is a result of the design process. But the nature of this design process can take many forms. It can be conducted by an individual, or it can be made up by a large team of individuals. Okay, and it should emphasize the creativity. It should incorporate creativity in it, or scientific decision making, At the same time, it should not be, it can be influenced by materials. Many factors are there. Materials, what material it is made up of, what is the production process, what is the business strategy, and what is the prevailing social, commercial, and aesthetic attitude. So all these can be considered while designing a product. So the role of a industrial designer is to actually create and execute the design solutions. So whatever the problem may be, he has to create the solution, and also he should execute the solution in his design process. Okay, so the form, the function, the usability, the physical ergonomics, the marketing, the brand development, the sales, all these factors should be considered while designing a product. Next, design process. So what is a design process? So it is a creative, many times it is creative, but sometimes it is an analytical process also, as it involves some analytical steps in it. So if you take many industrial designers, they often use various design methodologies in their creative process. So these methodologies may be user research, sketching, comparative product research, model making, prototyping, and testing. So prototyping means before going into the design process, they will make a prototype of the whatever they have in their mind. They will design a prototype of that product before going in for the real design. So these processes are best defined by the industrial designers, or they may involve other team members together also. It may be taken as a whole teamwork. So the industrial designers often utilize 3D software, computer-aided industrial design, and CAD programs, all these techniques to move from concept to production. These techniques will act as a tool to make their design powerful. They may also build a prototype first, so that is very important. They will build a prototype first and then use the industrial CT scanning, that is computer scanning, to test for interior defects and generate a CAD model, a computer aided design model. So from this, the manufacturing process may be modified to improve the product. So first they will develop a prototype and they will test it for any malfunctions or any defects in it. Then after that, they will again, when they are going in for the real process, the real design process, they will improve the product, they will modify the changes in it. Okay, so the product characteristics specified by industrial designers may include the overall form of the object, the location of details with respect to one another, the color, the texture, the form and aspects concerning the use of the product, how it is going to be used. So they, in addition to this, the production process, what material it is made up of, the choice of the material, and the way the product is presented to the consumer, and what point of scale it is presented to the consumer. So all these may be acting as important factors in the design process. So the inclusion of industrial designers in a product development process may lead to added value. How added value? Because the industrial designer is going to improve the usability of the product. He will lower the production cost and many more appealing. He will be sorry. He will be able to develop many more appealing products. So the industrial design as such, it will focus on technical concepts, the products and processes. In addition to the aesthetics, usabilities and ergonomics, it will also encompass the engineering, the usefulness, the market placement, and the other concerns like psychology, the desire, the emotion attachment of the user, all these. So these values and accompanying aspects that form the basis of industrial design will vary from different schools, like different type of designers, different individual teams or the practicing designers involved in. So all these design process, the design parameters will vary. Okay, next we'll move on to user interface design. So this is an important aspect of product design, the user interface. So to work with the system, users have to be able to control and evaluate the state of the system. So the user interface in the industrial design field is actually, it is a human machine interaction. It is a space where interaction between the human and the machine occurs. So the objective of this interaction is effective operation and control of the machine on the user's end, and also the feedback from the machine which aids the operator in making operational decisions. The feedback from the machine is also obtained using the user interface. Say for example, when you are driving a car, a driver sits in the driver's seat. So how many components does he use? He uses a steering. So steering to control the direction of the vehicle. He uses an accelerator, brake, and on the gear to control the speed and acceleration of the vehicle. And to look out the position through the window shield, he has a rear mirror to see at the back whatever the vehicles are coming, and what speed the other vehicles are coming. And then he will have a speedometer to view the exact speed of the vehicle, at what speed the vehicle is being run, and all these. So the user interface of the automobile system is on the whole composed of all the instruments the driver is using. So the driver can use all these to accomplish the task of driving and maintaining the automobile. It makes his job easier. So user interface design is also like that. It is a design of a product. So the product may be a machine, it may be an appliance, it may be a hardware, it may be a software. If you go for computer applications, the product may be a website, it may be a mobile communication device or whatever. So the design of the product has to be focused on the user's experience and interaction with the product. So the objective of user interface design is to make the user's interaction as simple and efficient as possible. Okay, so here the user has to accomplish the objectives. The design has to fulfill the objectives of the user. Thus, the user interface is also known as user-centered design. Good user interface design facilitates finishing the task at hand without drawing unnecessary attention to it. The whole process should be simplified. The user interface it is a front-end application view to which user interacts in order to use the software. The user can also manipulate and control the software as well as hardware by means of this user interface. Okay, so today user interface is found in almost in all the digital technology. Wherever we have digital technology, the user interface is present. Say for computer, your mobile phones, your car, your music players, your aircraft, airplanes, ships, everywhere, every digitized component, it has a user interface. So user interface is a part of a software actually, and it is designed in such a way that it is expected to provide the user insight of the software. So it provides a fundamental platform for human-computer interaction. So this user interface may be graphical, text-based, audio-video based, depending upon the underlying hardware and software combination. Or the user interface can be a combination. It can be either hardware, either software, or a combination of both. So the software becomes more popular if its user interface is very attractive. It has to be very simple. The response time is very short response time, and clarity in understanding the commands, and it consists of all interfacing the screens. Okay, so if interface achieves all these advantages, then it becomes very popular. So next we will see about command line interface, or CLI. So it is a great tool of interaction with computers in the ancient times where the video display monitors were not available. So this will be the first choice of many technical users and programmers. So it is a minimum interface a software can provide to its users. It will provide a command prompt. So the command prompt means it's a place where the user types the commands and feeds it to the system. Okay. The user needs to remember the syntax of the command and its use. So earlier days, this command line interface were not programmed, or they were not programmed to handle the errors. So we have a command. So command is nothing but a text-based reference to set of instructions that we give to the system. Okay, we expect the system to execute the particular function. So we give the function as a set of instructions by a text. So there are methods like macros, scripts, which all make it easy for the user to operate. So the CLI command line interface uses lesser amount of computer resource as compared to GUI, that is your graphical user interface. We will see what it is now. So the main elements of command line interface are command prompt, cursor, and command. So command prompt, as we know, it is a text-based notifier. It normally shows the text in which the user is working. So this is generated by the software system. Then we have a cursor. So it is a horizontal line or a vertical bar on the height of the line. It will represent the position of the character while typing. So it is always mostly, if you see, the cursor is used in blinking state. It will be found in a blinking state. So it moves as the user writes or deletes something. And lastly, the last element is command. So command is the executable instruction. Whatever I require the system to do, I will communicate to the system by means of the command. So this may have one or more parameters. Output on command execution is shown in line on the screen. When the output is produced, command prompt is displayed on the next line. So next we will